Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this Football Friday of the Uninformed Fan. We got NCAA, we got hockey, we got NFL, we got MLB, and LeBron hurt to start the NBA season. There's a shocker. Jeffrey, we got a jam-packed show. How are we doing today, my friend? Looking good as always.
I think it's much less like a shocker that LeBron's hurt to start the year, and it's just funny because he's suffering from sciatica, which is the most relatable thing at 40 years old.
Yeah,
he's gonna miss a month with sciatica pain because we've all fucking been there.
But we have to go to work. That's the difference,
right? Yeah, I mean, he has to show up. I guess.
Does he though?
They were talking to DeAndre Ayton about how it's been, getting to integrated with Luka Doncic and with LeBron James, and Ayton was like, "I don't know. I haven't played with either of them, so who knows?"
And that's definitely not a dig on LeBron. Like, listen, over 40, like, yeah, okay, no need for you to be. Anyway, we all know my thoughts on NBA regular season. It doesn't matter anyway. And I think they're projected to be like the 7th or 8th seed coming out of the West. So it's not like, again, no need to get back. Well, let's get into it right away. We do have some sad news to start off the Uninformed Fan here. RIP Sister Jean, if you didn't know her from the NCAA college basketball playoff. Absolute icon when it came to March Madness. RIP Sister Jean. Hope you're
God bless her. God bless that old bag, dude. What, 100 and what years old?
I think 106. Yeah.
She had the heavies. Just God bless her, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Hope you're up there partying with JC. You know who's not partying this week, and that is the city of Philadelphia. Let's just get the whole city of Philadelphia. And I'll tell you what, couldn't happen to a better fan base. That's all I'm going to say about that. Let's start off with the first one. Thursday night football last night, Eagles 17, Giants 34. It is time to officially sound the alarm on the Philadelphia Eagles. They are frauds. They've been talking about being frauds since they were 4-0, which usually does not happen with the team. Jalen Hurts is god-awful. I don't want to hear it again. We talked about how Justin Fields and how bad he is. Justin Fields could hit one of those throws. I mean, he is launching guys 10 yards out of just range, out of bounds. You can see the A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith are over on the bench laughing. Like, they're just laughing. I mean, it's just, we got tush push going for 4 straight plays. Is that the only play that they know how to do? You had Saquon Barkley absolutely looked great in the first half. So what do? We just don't give him the ball in the second half and put it in Jalen Hurts' hands. I have been a staunch supporter of Jalen Hurts, especially in the card world, because he got zero respect even when he won the Super Bowl. I will eat crow here and say that I was absolutely wrong. This team lacks energy. It lacks sustainability. There's obviously dissension within the ranks. The Philadelphia Eagles are shambles, but we've also seen the story many times over the past few years with the Philadelphia Eagles, and somehow they just get it right. So, Jeff, I know that you said that you get a little bit of pounded on this game here, but what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, cities in the history to have their NHL team lose, NFL team lose, and MLB team lose in the playoffs and be eliminated all in the same day. Philadelphia Phillies yesterday, Philadelphia and the entire city on October 16th in 1983. So it's only happened twice, both times in the city of Philadelphia. I don't have any words. I can't believe it. I can't believe that they got beat. They got beat off the ball. They got beat up front. Obviously, you have no Mitchell. You have no Carter. Didn't know that coming into the game. Didn't know that was going to happen. They both end up missing. And
then the cornerback got hurt as well and ended up missing the whole half the game.
Who?
I can't remember his name. He got hurt during the game.
Reed Blankenship.
Was that him?
He came back in though.
One of them.
Jean was out there limping around as well too. Here's the problem: is that Sirianni, as a head coach, he needs to have a good coordinator, offensive and defensive, to be successful, because he doesn't coach either sides of the ball. So I don't know, man. I'm disappointed. I thought AJ Brown was going to do better. Jackson Dart just goes out with a concussion, comes back in and continues just to pound the ball head first into every pile that he goes into. Is not a slider. That's going to be detrimental to his health eventually at some point. I heard what the Davis linebacker from New Orleans was talking about during the game when they played New Orleans last week, that Scatterboo is that kid when you go to a football camp that is just like the bad kid that doesn't listen to anybody and just runs head first and just it's like Bam Bam. And that's exactly who Scatterboo is. He's head first.
He looks like a pinball out there.
Backflips into the end zone. It's wild, the swag that they have to be a 2-win team now going forward. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to do with this division. I don't know what to do with the Giants. I don't know what to do with the Eagles at this point. Hopefully this 10 days off cures them. I thought that their powwow they were going to have between, Saquon and, Devontae and AJ.
Devontae wasn't even allowed. It was Saquon, AJ, and Hurts.
Yeah, I thought that would be something, but you see them on the sideline. They're all talking about it. They don't know what to do. And yeah, that was hilarious, Justice. Russ comes in for 2 plays and gets booed off the fucking field. And the entire bar was booing as well too. At the same time, the entire bar is just boo. If there was tomatoes or fruit to throw, it would have been thrown.
It is too bad too, because he's he really is a nice guy. Like
salt of the earth.
Yeah, it's just it's kind of interesting watching Brian Daboll on the sidelines though. Just being excited like a man who just kept his job for another year. They showed the
For sure.
VP and the GM up there in the suites looking, and of course the VP, the one that was famous for the hard knock saying, Saquon's other, just zero reactions, zero anything up there. But yeah, I mean, they did all this without Malik Neighbors as well. And without their number, Darius Slayton, I believe, right? It was just Wan'Dale Robinson out there. Shout out to those people.
Who Wan'Dale Robinson is, because the guy who won our fantasy football league last year, when Wan'Dale Robinson scored the touchdown, Mark Lloyd turns and goes, "Who is Wan'Dale Robinson?" And immediately, all 5 people who were sitting there who were in the same fantasy league as him that he won last year, our hearts just dropped and was like, "This is who we lost to. We lost to a guy who doesn't know who the number 1 wide receiver on the New York Giants is." And that's the way that fantasy football is.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, you got to give the props to the Giants. We all thought that this was going to be, or at least I did. I thought this was going to be a get-right game for the Eagles going against the Giants, obviously in New York, whatever it is, what it is. But, I mean, on paper, obviously the Eagles are the most dominant team or the best built roster versus the Giants. As somebody that picked up the Eagles defense to stream them, to your point, I didn't know that Jalen Carter was going to play, nor the other guy, and then obviously other injuries throughout the game. But that defense is horrible. Whoever number 7 was on the Eagles just got cooked all day long. And when he didn't get cooked, he got pass interference calls. It's just a bad.
There was a terrible one on him in the end zone. I thought that wasn't PI that they put
that one, yeah. But I thought the same. And as I saw the replay over and over again, it wasn't that it was PI, but he never even turned to play the ball at all and just put his hand right in his face. I mean, it is what it is. And he was holding the other arm, though. If you're holding one arm, you got to at least make an attempt to turn back at the ball. And was it touchy? Absolutely. But, man, he got cooked all game long. So, recap. Eagles bad. Giants better.
And then it's like, too, like you're sitting there, you're like, okay, the Eagles can make this comeback. And then A.J. Dillon fumbles the ball. Like, I
turned it off. Well,
they didn't call the fumble on Scatterboo. They ended up doing the quick review and reviewing it and saying it was a touchdown. Because they were going to review it, they were going to challenge it anyway, but the quick review happened in like 10 seconds and they called it a touchdown. So Scatterboo with three tutties on the day.
I mean, yeah, fantasy order for Cam Scatterboo got to be living large. I know somebody is. Did Tyrone Tracy even play in this game?
He did.
Did he have like 2 snaps, 3 snaps?
He had a few.
Okay. I just remember seeing something.
I know somebody who put out
an over or something.
Yeah, there's an over receiving yards. There was also
because they're going to be playing behind. I mean,
on Jalen Hyatt and Collins, and I don't think Collins even played a snap. Yeah, it was. I
think that was from a Giants insider, was it not?
It was tough sledding out there, Tyson. Yeah. Okay, let's not talk about the fact that I loved the over and I loved the plus 7.5, and somehow, some way, I just never got there. I put in too many prop.
You had the 7.5.
I put in. But I'm saying like I never got that on a bet. Does that make sense? Like I had so many prop parlays on like AJ Brown with touchdowns and I mean Jackson Dart. There's so many things that I had every which way that I never got a chance to put in the 2 things that I love, and I think that's on me. That's this was
you gotta put in what you love, Jeffrey.
It's a morning where you wake up, you wipe your eyes, you look yourself in the mirror, and say you fucked up yesterday. Yeah. And you got to live with that sometimes.
Well, I had, real quick here before we jump into the Chiefs Jags, I did have quite of a get back right little thing with Hard Rock. So obviously, I don't know if you remember, but like I think it was 5-6 weeks ago, I said, "Oh, Max Verstappen's plus 700 on Hard Rock to win the championship. I'm going to put 10 units on it." Put 10 units on it. That he got knocked out the next race, and basically the bet went to 0. Right? It was basically over. Well, over the last
$1,000 to the
no, Jeffrey, but over the last 3 or 4 races, he has closed the gap, and his odds have actually are down to like plus 650. And Hard Rock, as many things as I knocked them for, gave me a cash out. First of all, they offered me a cash out of $110 along the way, and of course, I said no, just going to let that ride. However, Jeffrey, I went to look in this weekend, and Max Verstappen payout. 10.5 units? Get cash me out.
Are you cashed out?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's first of all, it's going to take a lot for this to even happen. So ended up making money on the bet. Shout out to Hard Rock. But sometimes you just got to get in there and check those cash outs. But yeah, got to go with what you like. Got to go what you like.
Speaking of Hard Rock, they do this to transition into this segment that we're about to do now on the Chiefs and the Jags. They do this thing now where if there's a pick six in the game, you get a bonus bet if you bet on the game. And it's usually in the state of Florida for a local team that's playing. But if you're at the game and you open up your app and you were at the game in the stadium, you get $100 bonus bet, which I thought was pretty cool as well too.
That is pretty cool. For all of the ways that they shank you, it's nice that they give you a little something back.
Well, shout out to Marcus Buffington, who was at this game, by the way. So
I didn't know if that was a true or not. I don't know if that was a play, but yes, the Chiefs Jags. And for those of you that missed Monday's show, unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it. I was up in Jacksonville hanging out with the great Monday Night Football crew and Steph, my sister-in-law. It was a great time up there, enjoying that. But the Jacksonville Jaguars, what's that?
Did you go to the game?
I did not go to the game. But we also committed the cardinal sin that we have gotten so much better at doing since we don't get out a whole lot, especially when we travel. We make the cardinal sin of just going way too hard the first night. Way too hard. And that happened again. And I was a little hungover. But it was a good time. We went over Stanford Steve. Nah, we went to some dive bars with Stanford Steve and a couple of those guys, and then down in the lobby, hanging with Joe and Troy and Laura. Lisa Salters was there as well. It was a cool time, man. I mean, I don't get starstruck like that, but it was a cool time. Now Bianca, I think, was ready to divorce me and marry Troy Aikman or Kelsey. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I think it was pretty good. But we did get to the game, got away with no rain, which was kind of nice. But the Jacksonville Jaguars do take down the Chiefs while simultaneously screwing my fantasy team. Shout out to the Jacksonville Jaguars for just not running Trevor Etienne or Travis or whichever the one he is. He was only averaging 4.1 yards per carry, but hey, let's just run him 12 times in the game. I do believe 8 of them were in the first half. Shout out to the game plan there, Liam. We did have a Brian Thomas Jr. signing, an amazing catch along the sidelines. The Chiefs offense does appear to be progressing along. I don't think that there's too much panic out of there. Jeff, is this more about the Jacksonville Jaguars being back? Now, there was also some very weird bouncing of the balls. We'll talk about that. Do you think that was more to do with it than the Jags pulling out this win, or just the Jags being having a good game with a well thought out game plan?
I guess it could be both. I think they had a good game with a good game plan. I also don't think you can plan for a 100-yard pick six that Mahomes throws. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence fumbles the ball on the 1-yard line, still runs it in for a touchdown to end the game.
On another fumble, basically.
Yeah,
you might call it a fumble.
I don't know what to think about
Chris Jones standing around watching to see if
I don't really blame
if anybody was going to run into him.
Yeah, I thought that he thought that somebody. I mean,
he thought the play was over without hearing the whistle.
It'll be a coaching moment, but I'm not worried about Chris Jones. I understand that Jamar Chase has more tackles than Chris Jones this year, and Micah Parsons both. I get all that, and we'll get into
shout out Jake Browning
soon as well too. Listen, shout out to the Jaguars. Great win, great game. It's interesting to see them try to get Travis Hunter more involved a little bit as well too, because I do think that's a key to being able to unlock this offense a little bit more. And Trevor is Trevor, man. Trevor will make plays that you're just like, what the fuck is he doing? And then he'll hit a throw to Brian Thomas Jr. in between a safety and a corner that nobody in the NFL can do except for him and Caleb Williams. And you're just like, oh, this is why we've been so hyped on you for so long. He's an enigma, and I don't know how to change him or fix Trevor Lawrence or whatever it is, because Liam Cohen can't do it either. And it is funny to watch Liam Cohen just sit there and let Trevor Lawrence just absolutely melt down on these play clock plays where he's catching delay of games, and Liam Cohen is just refusing to call timeouts on the sideline and letting him die pretty much. It's like a adult and a child that they're going through a learning phase. So it's pretty funny to see. So
Also, shout out to the Pivot podcast with Ryan Clark, Fred Taylor. I had a nice little chat with those guys. They were doing an interview with Joe Buck.
Oh, good for them.
Yeah,
fuck Ryan Clark though.
He wasn't there.
I'll stay on business with that.
It was, I do believe it was Channing Crowder and Fred Taylor. I didn't know who they were, obviously, when they're talking. They had the Pivot podcast on.
You should love Fred Taylor and Channing Crowder, two Gator legends, in my opinion, in college, for sure.
Yeah, it was a good time. They asked about this little shitty podcast here called the Uninformed Fan, and they actually really enjoyed the premise of what it was, and that was actually what they were talking to Joe Buck about in Troy, that how their fanhood and whether people like them is just based on what they say about their team. If you talk good about their team, they like. I said that's exactly what we talk about, man. The Uninformed Fan. I think that to your point here, I think that it could be a little bit of both. I think the Jags are definitely progressing. I think what are they 4-2 now?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
and
you gotta love it.
One of those losses is to fucking the Bengals, which they should never have lost that game. It'll be interesting.
Week 1, right? That was week 1.
I'm interested to see what they do this week.
Yeah. Let's get into week 6, guys. Week 6. We are a third of the way through the season already. This shit is flying by. We are getting up at 9:30 in the morning with the London game. The Denver Broncos headed to London to face on the New York Jets. The Jets are bad, Jeff. I don't know if you knew this or not, but the Jets are really bad. I did see some stats from Mr. Justin Fields, who obviously I still root for. No interceptions this year so far. Been very good with the ball. Obviously serviceable. The majority of his yards are definitely coming in garbage time. I do believe last week in the third quarter, he had 10 points. Going into maybe the halfway through the third, ends up with 32 points. The tight end kid, Taylor, who was becoming quickly his favorite number 2. I'm trying to think of what his first name is.
Mason.
I think it is Mason Taylor. Mason Taylor. Obviously, all of that coming in garbage time as well. Starting to get another receiver involved, though, with Garrett Wilson. Obviously, very easy to double team here. Before we get into which team the Broncos that we're going to see, I just want to talk a little bit about the New York Jets for a second, Jeff. And it's one of the most penalized teams in the NFL right now. Very undisciplined, it seems like. Aaron Glenn.
Yeah.
Can a coach? I mean, if you go 0-6, which they're definitely staring right down the barrel of, are we going to see? Is Aaron Glenn going to get making it through? I mean, you fired Robert Saleh. The defense got worse. You bring in Aaron Glenn, former player, rah, all the good speeches. This team just doesn't seem to play for him. I mean, the undisciplined is just on the field. I mean, 0-6, is Aaron Glenn on the hot seat right now at 0-4? Or is it just getting warm and at 0-6 is when he is going to be kicked off of that seat?
I don't think you can fire him after 1 year, even if you don't win a game. I think you still have to at least give him a second year to kind of see how this whole thing plays out and see if you make any progression. Now, if you feel like as an organization you're not doing that, then that kind of is what it is, and maybe you can move on then. But I don't think you can bring in a coach and then fire him halfway through his first year. I just don't think it works like that. TJ, what's going on? Enjoy your vacation. I know you're out there doing it. Congrats to your Giants. Huge fucking win. I can't believe they won that game. But Jackson Dart, you got a guy. You have a guy, and I guess that's really all that matters. When it comes to this game specifically, Broncos, Jets, it seems like a trap game, right? It should be a trap game for Denver. You're talking about both teams traveling over to London. Can Breece Hall have a game? Can Garrett Wilson get out there? Mason Taylor. I just have an issue with this defense, how this defense has kind of been handled. Sauce Gardner seems to not be it. You have gotten zero pressure. I think that they're going to step up this game. Like I can see Quinnen Williams, and I think Jeremiah Johnson's back as well too, on the edge. So I could see both those guys being able to be a little bit disruptive on Bo Nix, but it's just a mismatch right now. It's a straight mismatch. I probably won't bet this. I don't really have a love for it. I'll probably just take a kicker bet and keep it moving.
Yeah, definitely, definitely a game. But I mean, the line only being 6.5 just seems a little off. But again, as we've seen throughout the Jets, and if you watch the Jets, and the only reason I watch the Jets is because Justin Fields is my starting quarterback now, RIP Joe Burrow, is that they just come back at the end. right? When
Yeah,
the
a
defense
lot
is
of
changed.
garbage time shit.
Yeah.
It is funny because I just I don't know. Like I would love this game opened up plus 7.5. It got hammered down to 6.5 for the line for the books to put it under 7. You know that a bunch of good money came in on one side, and I still don't love it. I don't know. I
I
think it's
just
just a
got to
stay
be
away
one of
game.
those games that we circle, right? And we say an 0-4 team, they're going to pick up a win
They're
somewhere.
0-5, by the way.
0-5. They're going to pick up a win somewhere. This is a game outside of the pressures of New York City, right? You probably are going to have more Jets fans there anyway, just because I don't see a whole lot of London people being Broncos fans. Could be as well. Where, New York's a little bit. We'll see it going. Let's head into Tampa Bay. The 49ers and the Brock Purdy-less 49ers are heading into Tampa Bay for a showdown. Both Jones appears to be in line for the start here. Both teams facing a lot of injury bugs this season. Obviously, just always high on the Bucks.
Am I?
Yeah, I don't know. 3.5 though. For as many injuries as the 49ers have, I'm assuming still no Kittle. Their wide receiver core is terrible. Just decimated. Not sure if Ricky Pearsall is going to play here as well. 3.5 seems a little low to me though, doesn't it?
I don't think so. I think you still have Robert Saleh over there. You still have a great head coach in Shanahan. The Bucks pretty much have been notorious for struggling against the 49ers in the past 4 or 5 years. We play every single year. It just got announced, I think just now, Chris Godwin is going to miss the game as well too, with his fibula or something like that, some kind of lower leg injury, which is not great because that means something got re-aggravated. Still no Bucky Irving. Still no Mike Evans. Zion McCollum was seen in a sling, so that takes away your top corner who you just re-signed. They were already down Jamel Dean and Christian Izien, their other two corners, so we're down to corner number 4 now. It's not great. Not great.
Basically, everyone but Baker Mayfield and Ibuka have been hurt this year.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, I still have Bucks -3 at -105 on Hard Rock. So that number is still there. I
know that we talked about this before also, but I did reach Baby Ruth on the number that I had for her. Can you reach out to her? Can you I didn't get anything back. I just said, is this still Baby Ruth's phone number?
Why don't you message her on social media?
All right, let me see if I can find it. I need an insider here of the Kyle Trask situation. I need to put it to rest. Like, according to everything, he's still not released.
You say according to everything, which your according to everything is Chat GPT.
I'm scanning the internet. I'm scanning any articles on the internet, any updates.
Scanning the internet.
Correct.
Doing.
Well, yes. I can type it in the Google search as well, Jeffrey.
Yeah,
I mean, I just need some closure, man. I need some closure. I need to figure out if the dude's just straight out of the league or if the Bucks are still holding him hostage. That's all I just need to know. Don't care if you think he's a good quarterback or not. I just need to know, man to man, have you released the guy? Is he able to go somewhere else? Because I just find it hard to believe with the decimation of quarterbacks throughout the league and his low ass salary that nobody's just going to roll the dice on him. That's all. That's all. Even on a practice squad, Jeffrey, even on a practice squad. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Chad, I appreciate the confidence in the Bucks -3. You're a sharp guy. You know what you're talking about and what you're doing. And so thank you. I don't see it. I think I'm more blinded to it because I'm a diehard fan. So it's tougher for me to get there on some of this shit. But yeah, I guess we'll take it.
We'll see what happens. Speaking of dog shit, the Arizona Cardinals heading into Indianapolis. Colts favored by 7.5. I put this on the notes. I will fade Arizona from here on out. Don't care. That is a shit football team, and I will die on the hill. Kyler Murray appears to be out this possibly this Sunday. I did see
right?
I saw a video of the snap or something. They're like, did he get concussed from that snap? The snap that just drilled him right in the head. He looked concussed afterwards. I don't know, man. Arizona, screw you guys, man. No, just you guys.
Yeah.
No, you screwed me over
Imagine.
so many times. Go Indiana Jones. The biggest question that I have for those of you guys out there, because I know Jeff probably won't give me a straight answer on here, is I have Danny Dimes or Justin Fields this week. Yeah. Now, I also the Arizona Cardinals tend to just stop playing defense at a certain point throughout the game. But the question will be, will the Colts be up by so much that Danny Dimes doesn't even need to throw the ball? Probably. Will Justin Fields be behind the 8 ball with the Denver Broncos to have to throw the ball? Probably. So probably Justin Fields, I would think so. But Jeff, do you have anything to add on this? I know that we're playing each other this week. And I think that you can tell by my dialogue that I'm pretty much still sticking with Fields. Anything to add on that? Or should I pick up Joe Flacco to start against you?
It'll be interesting to see if Kyler Murray plays. If Kyler Murray does play, Kyler Murray is usually an auto bet on the road, especially on big numbers. He's usually a fade at home. It's the opposite of Bryce Young. So yeah, I mean, we'll monitor that situation closely to see if he plays. Because if he does play, 7.5 is a lot. I think Indy will play okay, but I think after what happened and with all the noise around Arizona, Arizona's going to want to show up here. And Indy's feeling themselves right now. Right?
Have they not had this noise out the whole year, though? Have we not been talking about when they let the Carolina Panthers come back? Arizona.
Yeah, this is different, though. This is different. This is like DeMarcado drops the ball on the 1-yard line. Gannon punches him. Gannon gets fined $100K by the team for punching him on the sideline. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of noise, a lot of shit. If Kyler plays, I'll probably be on Arizona here. If Kyler doesn't play, I'll just make it a no bet because I didn't get the best of the number. So,
who's their backup?
No, I agree, Chad. And I said this before the year when we were talking about division winners, is that I thought the Colts had the best roster in terms of up front on their lines. I love teams that just continuously build offensive and defensive line and let ancillary pieces around them kind of fit in and make sense. I think you can get a lot of those pieces pretty cheap. Look at like little Jordan Humphrey last night, right? He goes out there and plays for the Giants, and he looks like a monster compared to everybody else. I didn't realize he was that big. He looked absolutely humongous out there on the field, and you realize this is a guy who's been in the league for like 8 years, 7 years, something like that. And he's bounced around from team to team. Now he gets an opportunity and goes out there and performs. I think there's a lot of those pieces that are able to be plug and play around the league, as opposed to you have to build through the draft and through your lines up front.
Absolutely, Justice. Absolutely. Before we move on, Jeff, any
what did
comment?
I say? That's what she said.
Bigger than you realized. He's a larger man than you realized. You didn't realize that man was that large, I believe, is the comment that Mr. Justice is referring to. Any comment on the Justin Fields, Joe Flacco, Danny Dimes debate for the reeling fantasy team that is the defending champions?
Please start Joe Flacco, please.
Is that reverse psychology?
Take it for what it is. You asked me my opinion.
I really asked Justin Fields or Danny Dimes. That's what
you threw in Joe Flacco, so you gave me a third option.
I gave him an out. And
if you want to, should you start Justin Fields or Danny Dimes? What's the EPA against both defenses? Right? What is?
They're like a half a point apart
in terms of what points scored?
Projections. Yeah, projections.
Yeah, but you're talking about ESPN projections. I'm talking about success rate against each defense. The Denver blitzes every single time. The Jets have no offensive line whatsoever. Denver blitzes at the highest rate of anybody in the NFL.
Sounds good for Mason Taylor.
Or will Justin Fields be able to even get out of the pocket? Because we've seen him sometimes he steps back and there's already somebody on him. And then
all right, Justin Fields it is.
You're on the other side and you're talking about, do you want to start Danny Dimes? Well, you think the game's going to be a blowout. So then that would be an issue for you as well, too, because is Anthony Richardson going to be in by the fourth quarter? I don't know. So
nice to see him get a little bird on the last one.
Go ahead and start Joe Flacco.
My team's in shambles anyway. Absolute shambles. What another amazing draft.
At least you didn't lose by half a yard last week to TJ.
Yeah, anytime you lose to TJ, it's just that's
after
always
putting
just
up 140 points.
Yeah, that just makes it even worse. The LA Rams are heading into Baltimore. This is what it is. I mean, whatever. I mean, fantasy players. Woo, yay. I don't know. Like, Ladd McConkey showed up last week for you. I know you were talking about that and needing some Ladd McConkey sightings. He showed up for you that week. Good job. Congratulations. Another touchdown there.
Where are you pulling Ladd McConkey out right now?
I don't know, dude. I get him confused with the Rams and the Chargers sometimes. Just let me be. I'm old, okay? Rams, Ravens, anything to talk about other than how many points the Rams will win by?
Who says the Rams are going to win?
Everyone.
Okay.
No Lamar.
There's never been a time where everyone is wrong, right?
No. There's no saying called fade the public. Absolutely.
I don't know. Listen, the Rams will probably win this game for sure. Absolutely. Denver's defense, Baltimore's defense is absolutely atrocious. I think that's the entire problem. Like, if their defense was even somewhat relevant or okay, this would be different. Now, the question is, are you going to get back Roquan Smith? Are you going to get back Kyle Hamilton? Wiggins. There's a lot of pieces they have that are huge names that are out right now and that are trying to get back for this game. So if they can get back for this game, then there's going to be value more on the Ravens. But I just still think with Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, Blake Corum, yeah, they should definitely win this game. And they have Matthew Stafford, who is incredible. So I would,
if only Shedeur would have went to Baltimore, you'd be playing right now.
Why? Let's get into that game. Let's get into Cleveland, Pittsburgh, since you want to bring up Shedeur Sanders.
Wow, it's funny you say that because that was the next game on my list, Jeffrey. The Cleveland Browns heading to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers favored here by 6.5. This line seems a little fishy to me. We saw Dylan Gabriel take over the reins last week. Serviceable, especially for his first game. I know that you're not high on Dylan Gabriel, but obviously, again, serviceable. Especially for your first game as an NFL quarterback, although he is like 35 years old or something like that. Browns offense, it definitely seemed like it got a little juice in there, a little bit of life. Shedeur Sanders is now the number 2. Joe Flacco getting traded to the Bengals.
Not necessarily, not so fast, my friend. Bailey Zappi elevated from the practice squad.
Did like they really?
He will be the number 2 option, and Shedeur will still be number 3.
Are you serious?
Swear to God, can't make it up.
Okay, I mean, I'm not one to say, but come on, dude. What?
Yep.
What are they doing to this kid? It's not like baseball where, like, if he's the number 2, like, you get an extra year on his contract. What is happening here? Is this just straight collusion at this point?
I don't understand. I don't get it. I mean, like, you draft the kid, you trade away Flacco and Pickett, and now you grab Bailey Zappi and decide that you're going to – and I think they also had they had Snoop too, right? They had
preseason,
Huntley. They had Tyler Huntley on the roster as well too. You have all these guys on there. You get rid of all of them, and you still continue to keep Shedeur at number 3. But also, like,
on the official depth chart I'm seeing, though, it's still Shedeur.
Correct. I'm telling you, the word on the street is that by Sunday, Bailey Zappi will be promoted and probably be the number 2. This is my thing, and I don't understand it. Like, Kevin Stefanski is the same guy who decided that he wanted a clean slate and didn't want Baker Mayfield. He's the same guy who went out and sold the entire farm for Deshaun Watson and signed him to a ridiculous contract. Why are we still considering that Kevin Stefanski is great at evaluating talent in quarterbacks? I think that it is ridiculous. I understand that Stefanski models himself after Bill Belichick, but you don't have to model yourself after Bill Belichick to the point where you can't make a draft pick or even be competent as a personnel guy. So
I think that model is in complete jeopardy now anyway, right? I mean, we took away Tom Brady. He never had a winning record. And then we're seeing what's happened in North Carolina.
It's crazy, man. I supposedly Bill might be out at North Carolina by the end of the week, or, we'll see what happens this weekend or whatever. Supposedly he was in Nantucket on their bye week with Jordan, sipping wine at some hoity-toity places. And it's just like Bill retired. Like Bill said, I'm done. I'm going to go to North Carolina. Somebody else can run this shit. I'm not doing recruiting. I'm not doing all this stuff. I'm going to be with my 24-year-old girlfriend. I'm going to get blowjobs whenever I want to. And life is going to be great. And I'll be on a college campus because that's where she wants to be. And I don't care about anything except for making her happy. And who cares? So
I would say, though, with that being said, I think that was more to try to set up his son, because isn't the contract like his son is like basically the heir in waiting? Yeah, I think he went back to secure his son's future, to be perfectly honest with you. But at the end of the day, how much money are you giving your 22-year-old girlfriend when you die, and how much does your son need? You know, can he not get a coaching job on his own?
Yeah, Chad, I understand that you're saying that, and it's really easy to blame the owner on a lot of shit. But I can only go by what the proof that I have in front of me and what I've seen from Stefanski. While he can coach and while he can make Joe Flacco look great in certain points, right? I've also seen a side where I'm kind of turned off by everything else about it as well too.
Just be honest. I mean, the Browns are just an organization that is in disarray, have been for years. You know, I was talking to people from Ohio when they were at the bar. You know, like the movie Draft Day is literally represents them. They live for football. Their weather is shit. They have nothing to look forward to. They had a brief blip with LeBron James and the Cavs. They got just waxed in the first round of it. Like, they're down bad, man, and they just look forward to football. And there's some reason their organization can't just put anything together.
Chad, I guess let me ask you a question, because I understand that point, right? If the Browns were to let him go, he'd be picked up in 10 minutes. The same can be said with Mike McDaniel. And Mike McDaniel, we've seen so far, is not a good head coach. He might be a great coordinator. And that's not to say that you can't learn really good head coaching characteristics down the road. I think Todd Bowles is a perfect example of that, of a guy who was a terrible head coach, who's a great DC, who everybody pegged as he's only going to be a coordinator his whole life. And he's figured out the, small little in-game things and clock management and challenges and stuff like that. That's not to say it can't happen, but
even though they were calling for his head the first couple of years in Tampa.
For sure. And nobody, I mean, I was a huge critic of Todd Bowles for the first few years he was there. But yeah,
it is what it is. I've also never understood that, a head coach does go somewhere like Aaron Glenn or something like that and just gets dog shit. Somebody immediately tries to scoop him up, but we shall see.
So Chad, with that, I'm not saying McDaniels or Stefanski would get a head coaching job. Stefanski would 100% get an OC job immediately. Same thing with McDaniels. It'd be the exact same thing. I don't think they'd be offered head coaching jobs anywhere else.
So Browns Steelers minus 6.5. Jeffrey, you like anything here, or are you sticking away from this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great Steelers spot. I worry about sometimes Tomlin as a big favorite. I would just play a Myles Garrett sack here, honestly, if I wanted to bet something on the game, because Rodgers is still Rodgers and Myles Garrett is still the best defensive lineman in the NFL. That's probably that shit.
I think he took that Micah Parsons shit a little personal going into the season.
He should. He is a dog, bro. Myles Garrett is ridiculous. I don't understand the Newsome trade that they just made with Jacksonville as well too. It makes zero sense to me.
So we did talk about Joe Flacco going to the Bengals, which he was spotted on a commercial flight on his way to Cincinnati, which is absolutely hilarious. They couldn't even send the jet for him. Packers here favored by 14.5. We know what the offense is capable of, right? I mean, the weapons, but we also know how bad this offensive line is. We talked about it in the preseason, and they got Burrow killed. So then now you go out and you bring in a sequoia tree with roots 4 feet down to try to operate behind this offensive line.
Yeah.
If you give Joe Flacco time with those receivers, I have no doubt he will carve you up. Just like if you had Aaron Rodgers back there, he will carve you up. But we have not seen that from the Cincinnati Bengals at any time. First of all, I'd also like to give a big FU to the New York Football Giants for denying us what we all wanted to see out of the 2025 season, and that is Jameis Winston with the Cincinnati Bengals. So FU to the Giants for that, first of all. So we go from the fun-loving, eating W's and crab legs Jameis Winston potential to old man Flacco back there, who I just don't see it. We talked about the Jets offensive line, or and Justin being able to run for his life. At least Justin's got wheels. This is going to get bad, man. I feel like this is Jake. I give him 2 games maybe, and Jake Browning is going to be right back in there.
Yeah, Flacco might get hurt behind that line. Honestly, it's pretty bad. I don't understand it, but just like the Bengals do stupid shit like the Browns, I don't understand a lot of the shit they do as well too. So yeah, you basically brought a statue to stand behind the worst offensive line in the NFL, and you have a terrible defense on the other side, and you had Matt LaFleur pissed off coming off of a tie to the Cowboys and a loss the game before that. They had a week to prepare for this team. This is going to be, in my opinion, a bloodbath. Yeah.
Obviously, I'm always going to go against the Packers.
I know you really like,
you might be right,
Flacco, and you think that Flacco has a chance to beat the Packers twice, and there's nothing you would love more.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Micah Parsons going to get active. I mean, they do have an advantage. They're wide receivers on the DBs of the Packers, but is Flacco going to have any time to be able to throw the ball?
Here's my game plan for the Cincinnati Bengals. Okay, we're going to load it up on one side, and I'm going to put Jamar Chase or T. Higgins on one side by himself, hopefully in man coverage. I'm going to hike the ball, and then I am immediately going to throw the ball in the air towards that receiver and hope he catches it every single time. And I would say probably 5 out of 10, they're going to come down with it. And that's all you need, Jeffrey. That's all you need.
Here from the 3-time Joe Flacco is looking to defeat the same team in the same season with 2 different teams since Jack Kemp in the 1960s.
Obviously, whatever. Screw the Packers. Seahawks headed into Jacksonville. Jacksonville obviously coming off that big win. Seahawks favored here by 1.5. This will be the true test for the Jacksonville Jaguars, in my opinion. I think Sam Darnold and the Seahawks defense could come in here and give the Jaguars a little bit of a reality check here, in my opinion. Seahawks only favored by 1.5 here. I think that also it is what it is. I can definitely see somehow, some way the Seahawks only win by 1 here and you lose by the hook. So as I've always said, do not take the hooks. But if you also follow my bet, I am 100% fade worthy going into this week. So yeah, follow, tail, whatever accordingly. I think that the Jags have a reality check here, Jeffrey, against the Seahawks. How do you feel?
Seattle is catching a point, so they are +1 going into this game. In Jacksonville,
really? It was -1.5 when I looked this.
+1.
Oh, it's still -1.5 on score. Interesting.
On Hard Rock, it's +1. So I guess it's really whatever. It's -110 both ways on the money line, so it really doesn't matter. Yeah, Joe Burrow, 3-time comeback player of the year. I agree.
I would love to see Anthony Richardson on the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, that would have been great. Like you said, Trey Lance as well too. I mean, Jameis can move a little bit, at least in the pocket. Might not be.
Jameis doesn't even need to move though, bro. He's just straight throwing it into the zone. Yeah. He doesn't care.
Yeah, that's kind of why we wanted him. We just wanted the gunslinger. It's like Jake Browning last week, right? You're gonna throw 3 picks, and one of them's gonna be directly to a linebacker, and 2 of them are gonna be in the red zone. But you're still gonna score 3 touchdowns and throw for 300 yards. So, Seattle defense is banged up big time. Seattle defense, though. Listen, when is the glass slipper going to fall off the Trevor Lawrence proverbial foot here? Who knows? I know that they're missing Weatherspoon. I know they're missing Love. I don't know. I don't know about this game. I really don't. I wish I had.
How many weapons do you really need to guard against? Brendan Strange out on IR. You have Brian Thomas Jr. And then I guess if you put Travis Hunter on that side, which we did see Travis Hunter finally get some amazing catches. So the way that he juked out some of those defenders was absolutely amazing. So maybe this is what you see on this game here is since the Seahawks, I wouldn't say have that, receiver. You have Jackson Smith-Njigba, but after that, I think this is maybe where you see Travis Hunter more on the offensive side here to complement BJT and try to get some of these big game from ETN here, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think the problem is too is that it's like, how can you trust Sam Darnold to do the magic that he had against the Bucs defense 2 weeks in a row? They do have a
he's starting to make you a believer, Jeffrey.
I'm close to being a Sam Darnold believer, but I'm not.
Yeah, I can feel it coming around.
I can't get there.
I can feel it coming around.
I've seen too much. I've seen too much. But I don't really have a strong opinion on this game.
We shall see. Chargers going into Miami. Chargers 3.5 favorites. I mean, I have nothing to talk about in this game. You mentioned it earlier. Mike McDaniels looks just absolutely defeated. He looks to me like he's just waiting to get fired. And it's kind of one of those things, right? When you either commit a crime or you tell a lie and you're living with it and you finally get caught, right? While the consequences are extreme, you do feel the weight off of your shoulders that it's finally over. And I feel like that's what is happening in Miami. I feel like McDaniels is just waiting for it finally to be over. And that's all. I mean, that's all I really have to say about it. I just feel like he's ready for it to be over. I think that the Miami team is ready for it to be over. In my opinion, Tua is not the long-term answer at quarterback over here. While he does have some good throws, the obviously the concussions, and I don't know, man. I watch him wind up, and his wind up sometimes to me looks worse than Tebow's. Kind of like Kyler Murray a little bit as well. I don't know. Jeff, do you have anything to talk about? I mean, the line's only 3.5. I'm assuming that's just because the Dolphins are at home, and it should be closer to 5.5. I would think something along those lines. But I mean, the Chargers coming off 2 bad losses, the team that we talked about, going 3-0 or 4-0 in the division, whatever it was to start with, 2 losses back to back. They're going to be pissed off. Going to be hot. Obviously, San Diego's not used to that. It is what it is. I mean, do the Dolphins have a chance here? I know we give everyone a chance on a Sunday, any given Sunday.
They're from LA. They should understand heat a little bit. It's not all breezy and whatever.
It's not that. It's not that Miami sweatshop.
It's not this heat, right? And it's not you being on the sideline and the only unshaded part of the entire stadium getting beat down on.
I do like that move.
Yeah, we could talk about that last night. Actually, about how once that kind of plays out, it'd be interesting to see him hop on, much like Saleh hopped on with the Niners last year as a defensive analyst and then became the coordinator right after that. I get that their tackles are both out. I don't really care. I'm taking the Chargers here. I just don't see a path for Miami. I think, and also if you look at, we always talk about we're betting kind of against public sentiment, right? And you've seen the Chargers kind of maybe be a little bit, take a step back after the first few weeks. So there's going to be more inclination to want to bet Miami here as well, too, which is going to make me want to be on the side of the LA Chargers.
And we'll see. Obviously, that line will move probably. And if it doesn't, that just goes to show you that Joel already out of the walking boot. So we'll see what happens. Probably going to miss this one as well. But we'll see. Could be back for next week. Cowboys, Panthers. I have nothing to say. The Panthers are dead to me.
Just so funny. They're so Jekyll and Hyde in terms of what they are on the road and what they are at home, which is really interesting. I think that there will be some points scored in this game. I think Dak is going to solidify more of his case for MVP that he's on right now. So to me, I would lean. I'm not going to say lean. I'll take the Cowboys -3.
No leans, Jeffrey.
I'll take
no
the
leans.
That was the original website, noleans.com.
I think I still own it. Leans, man. No leans. I'll tell you the one thing, obviously, I am looking for here.
Informed fan then, or what? Oh my God.
I already have it. I've got .com, .org. Oh, I have everything. Xavier Legette. I'm looking for a breakout game from here. This is going to be a game where the Carolina Panthers are going to continue to pass. He's looked decent. His target share continues to go up, even though he only had 3 targets last game. Two catches, 31 yards, and the touchdown. Obviously, Tetris is taking the bulk of the shares here. I think that he can have a good game here as well. We'll see. That Cowboys secondary is definitely dog shit. Patriots headed into New Orleans. Saints. Patriots favored by 3.5. I like the Saints here, Jeffrey. I like the Saints here. Sneaky.
A lot of people
the Patriots. Patriots coming off that big win against Josh Allen and the Bills, going down to New Orleans where that crowd is always hostile. Spencer Rattler starting to put it together. My poor Alvin Kamara, whatever. Just trade him already if you're not going to use him. I don't know what you're saving him for. I'm holding on to him to week 7. Week 7 is the end of the trade deadline. After that, no holds barred. I don't know. Jeffrey, do you love the Patriots here again?
Yeah. But
I
like,
figured.
it's also I probably just won't bet it because sometimes we get really drunk on teams. And I think right now is like the peak drunkenness for the
Sell
New Orleans
high.
Saints, right? Like for the Saints, I'm saying
Oh,
if you actually look at the Patriots have the easiest schedule going forward the rest of the year, by far. So I think the Patriots still have a lot of room to be able to grow here. And the Saints were like, we're taking them because they barely lost to the Bills, right? Like they put up a good fight against the Bills. Well, the Bills are not great this year. Let's be completely honest. And then we're
neither of the Saints,
rah-rahing
in
them
fairness.
because they had 3 turnovers against the New York Giants last week. One of them gets returned for a touchdown and they win that game too. So I don't know. To me, I understand the love for the Saints here, and everybody loves the Saints, and I can see this line hopping even farther toward New Orleans by kickoff. But I am on the Patriots side.
If you could get
That makes more sense.
4.5, it's a lock. That. But again,
Well, I mean, you have 3 right now on Patriots Saints on Hard Rock. It's Patriots -3.
everywhere else is 3.5. Well, obviously, because the Hard Rock gives the worst odds ever, even though they give you a $100 bonus bet if there's an interception and you're at the game. Shout out to them. So if you spend
shout out Buff.
$200 on a ticket, they're going to give you a $100 bet. So yeah, I'm not saying that the Saints are going to come out here and win, but I think it's going to be a closer game than everybody seems to think. But I think that the definitely the Saints cover here or have a great shot at covering, even if it's a backdoor cover where they kick a field goal at the end, try to get the onside kick or something of that nature.
Sure.
Titans Raiders. This game, in my opinion, should even be televised. If you have tickets to this game, I apologize. I have nothing to say about this, Jeff. Titans can go put it where the sun don't shine after the way they won that last game. The Raiders are an absolute shambles. Geno Smith has absolutely forgotten where Jacoby Myers is. Brock Bowers is hurt, might not be playing. He didn't practice. Yeah, I mean, shouldn't even be televised. With that being said, I'm sure it'll be on one of my TVs.
Yeah, Chad, right now on Hard Rock Bet, it's Patriots -3, -120, Saints +3, +100 at even money. So it's a very interesting line that Hard Rock has hung here. I don't know. It looks interesting. This is one of those games, Titans Raiders, where like, first of all, the Titans should have had no shot to win that game last week. Cam Ward made 3 throws that I thought were absolutely fucking dimes that he placed into small windows that I thought were really good. Geno has looked very pedestrian. I guess my question will be, is Brock Bowers going to play? If Brock Bowers plays, then you're definitely going to lean toward the Raiders here. If Brock Bowers doesn't play, I think this is a bad line that they hung as well too. Now the Titans
I also say that I need
Brock
Brock Bowers to play for Jacoby Myers to have success. Because when Brock Bowers is not in there, they just shut Jacoby down and throw it to number 1. I can't remember his name. That just is the Zay Flowers of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, Trey Tucker. Now the good news is that you are playing one of the worst secondaries in the entire NFL. And if you told me that Ladarius Sneed would be on one of the worst secondaries in the entire NFL, I don't know if I would have believed you. But yeah, I get it. I think this is like one of those dumb games that'll end up somehow being on the TV at some point, that you'll be watching for a player prop or some shit that I'm going to be so pissed off that I'm doing it. But it's football. So we're just happy.
It is football. Still better than the CFL. Lions heading to the Chiefs for the game of the week, Sunday Night Football. Will the Lions continue to roll? Again, 2.5 points here to favor to the Chiefs. The Lions, to me, look like the most complete team in the NFL, in my opinion. We had a lot of questions about them when they first started the season. Obviously got off to a slightly rough start, but I think that obviously they've shown that they're a well-coached team. They have picked up right where they left off after losing both of their coordinators. They've got the way that they want to put football dialed in. This is a big game for the Chiefs, not so much the Lions. This is a big game for the Chiefs, in my opinion. It's almost a must-win for them.
Yeah, I mean, can we be honest about how this has gone so far for the Lions, though? They beat the Ravens, right, on Monday night, which we all thought was crazy, but they put up 38 points on the Baltimore Ravens. They then play the Cleveland Browns at home, and they play the Cincinnati Bengals on the road, and they won by 13. Those are 3 terrible football teams right now. In my opinion, I think that the Chiefs is one of my favorite plays. My absolute favorite play of the week. It will be on my card. It will be put out. Kansas City is going to dominate them, in my opinion. I think you give me Jared Goff outdoors. I'm fading that all day. I think I've mentioned Tyquan Thornton. I don't know how many times on this show. Every single time we talk about the Chiefs, and I'm going to continue to do it because the way that the dynamic that he has brought to this offense by opening up the field for Xavier Worthy, for Hollywood Brown, for Travis Kelce, I think has been a linchpin in their success so far. And I think they're also getting to a point now where you got Kareem Hunt as the goal line back. Pacheco is just not the guy. But now you got Smith as the running back who came from Miami and SMU, who I think is by the end of the year will eventually take over that role. And he is a home run hitter as well, too. I love what the Chiefs are doing. I think that the Lions are severely overrated. And as long as they can block Aiden Hutchinson, they're absolutely fine. Patrick Mahomes looks to be in phenomenal shape. He's moving the pocket well. He's running the ball. They got very unlucky against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yeah, absolutely. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs all day here, -2.
Well, I will say, to your credit, I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking here is this is the Chiefs have to win this game. Like, I mean, we can say whatever, and yes, no, they don't have to, and yes, they'll still be around. But if the Chiefs lose this game, they're going 2-4.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big hole to get out. Their backs are against the wall. Lions 4-1. I just feel like this is a must win for the Kansas City Chiefs. I think Chris Jones is going to come out, obviously, after the last play. I think he's going to be all over the field. To your point, that wide receiver core is getting better and better each week. The ball is getting distributed to multiple wide receivers. This is also the last week without Rashee Rice. Yeah. So he will be back after that. I think this is absolutely a get right game. I think this game launches the Kansas City Chiefs to their playoff run once again. This is going to be a quality win. Get them to 3-3. Rice is back. Chiefs are rolling. And we don't even talk about the first 3 losses that they had.
And everybody and their brother, the entire public is on the Lions right now. Just like Chad said, all the money is pouring in on Detroit. So why is the line continuing to rise on the Kansas City side? It's because Kansas City is a better football team, in my opinion. And I think the Lions, as Donnie Brasco would say, are fugazis. So
we shall see. Couple Monday night games, which we will get into on Monday. Just to touch, the Bears are heading back to the Commanders for the revenge game. The Bills are heading to the Falcons. Absolutely hate the double night Monday header. Don't understand why we do it. It's absolutely egregious, along with 9 p.m. start times, which we'll get into that as well. But let's move on to the kids, and let's talk about a little NCAA football. A big Saturday is upon us. Probably the best lineup between top 25 matchups since week 1. Let's start off with the Florida Gators. We're heading to Texas A&M, the number 5 Texas A&M, coming off of the big win. A&M favored by 7.5. This is one of the most hostile crowds in college football. If you've ever been down there, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. The Gators obviously coming off a big win, still very plagued by injuries here. Billy Napier hanging on for his job. My insiders say Billy Napier's done no matter what. It doesn't really matter what he does at the end of this year. I had a nice, interesting conversation, though, with Stanford Steve. And Stanford Steve loves Billy Napier. And I said, why? And he's like, well, have you watched him the last few games? I said, well, yeah. And he's like, you see the way those kids play for him? I said, absolutely. He goes, that's why I love him. I said, I'll give you that. But we said that last season, and he was supposed to bring in an offensive coordinator to just, improve his pedestrian offense, and he didn't. And that's what he said. He's like, I understand that as well. But my insiders say he's out no matter what. And
what does Stanford Steve drink?
Miller Lite.
Okay.
That was at a dive bar, though. He had some other cocktails at the inside bar. But I'm going to stick.
How did this all come to fruition? Like, how did you end up hanging out with Kelce and Aikman and Buck and
Bianca's sister, Stephanie
Pivot.
Janetta, who works on the Monday Night Football crew.
Gotcha.
So we went up there to see her get away for the weekend as well. And then she worked, and then we kind of met at the end of the night, and then did that for a few nights. Yeah. We were going to go up and stay for the Monday night game as well. Basically get on the field during the first half, and then, then leave at halftime. And then we were like, nah, we need to come back because obviously our dog. Nah, I had to get back for Mr. Achilles, man. We put a lot of stuff on her father to give him the shots and feed him for the 3 days. So we came back. It just is what it is. But yeah, it was a great time, man.
Laura Rutledge in Jacksonville.
We didn't stay in Jacksonville, actually. We stayed at an Amelia Island.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ritz? Yeah. Is there a Ritz-Carlton there?
There is a Ritz-Carlton there. And that is where we resided. Although we forgot Salt was closed on Sunday, Monday. So we went down Sunday to have a nice dinner after the hangover because I just needed a full meal, and only to realize that they were closed. Don't understand that at all. But yeah. So we'll see what happens with the Florida Gators here. Low expectations. Again, just want to see some improvements going forward. The Florida State Seminoles welcome the Pittsburgh. What is Pittsburgh's mascot?
It's a great question.
I don't know. They're welcoming the Pittsburgh people in Florida State. Florida State here favored by 10.5. Florida State looking
Pittsburgh Panthers. Of course, they're the Panthers.
The
Pitt Panthers.
Florida State looking to bounce back here a little bit. I said on the group text that our Florida State bet got more interesting. You asked me how. I'm going to refer back to the fact that there's only one game separating them. That's how.
Yeah. Okay. Look at the schedule. Okay. Florida State's going to run the table the rest of the way.
Good. A 4-loss Gator team would probably still be ranked higher than Florida State.
No. The fact that they left us in the top 25, I thought was
mind-boggling.
A fucking gift.
Mind-boggling.
Like I'm like, there's no way. Like you, especially in my head when I projected it out, I'm like, you're gonna get rolled by Miami, and we did for all intents and purposes. Listen, Florida State decided they were gonna do one thing. They're gonna like absolutely take away one part of the game plan, and that was they were gonna take away the run and make Carson Beck throw. And Carson Beck fucking torched you for 3 quarters, and they didn't have to throw the ball anymore, and you were still taking away the run, and that's why you got the ball and were able to go down. And
he looked like Joe Montana out there.
Turn the ball over. He looked incredible, bro. He looked incredible. Yeah. And people were talking about how like his he had Tommy John surgery, his elbow still might not be right, and so on and so forth. And the dude was just on fire, bro.
Carson Beck had Tommy John surgery? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess quarterbacks bounce back quicker than pitchers, I guess.
I guess.
No, sure. I didn't know that. Obviously, Florida State here. We're just going to give them this win. Are we, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I mean, Pitt has and I honestly thank God they have a true freshman quarterback who played last week who is interesting. He can move the pocket. He has a little bit of an arm as well, too. It's just going to be an interesting environment for him to roll into Tallahassee at 12 o'clock coming off Miami loss. I think it's going to be a tough thing for him. And also, I think this FSU team is not there's no quit in this team, if that makes sense. So they're going to come out with everything they have for this Pitt game. So
have we found out the status of the wide receiver that was meleeed during the is he okay? Is he playing?
He returned punts last week against
okay. And then I also saw the guy got released from the hospital that was shot in the head.
Ethan Pritchard, the whole team was there.
I did see that. But I also saw that he was like wheeled out like on a stretcher. It didn't look like he should be leaving the hospital. Usually when somebody gets
he's going to a long-term facility.
Okay.
He's leaving ICU.
Is he paralyzed or something?
He might be brain dead the rest of his life. He got shot in the head.
Oh damn!
At point blank.
I thought he was making a recovery. Well, that's what I was saying. I saw him. Okay, well that's.
I mean, he's making a recovery, like to
be a vegetable,
survive and live a normal life at some point. But no, he's fucking.
I'm not talking about him ever playing football again. I just saw that the headline was he was released from the hospital. Right. So usually when I see somebody released from the hospital, they're in a wheelchair, like, going to stand up. Like he was on like a full bed with like, I'm like, how is this dude getting released?
He's
I
out of
didn't
ICU going to a long-term
Man, that's
care
terrible,
facility,
man.
so
He got shot point blank in the back of the head, like execution style. I thought it was a stray bullet.
they got robbed, bro. they got jumped and robbed when he was visiting his family.
Unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he did like nothing in the wrong. He was visiting his aunt at an apartment complex, and 3 people ran up on him and shot him in the back of the head, try to steal his shit.
Did they catch him?
Yeah. They got everybody. So.
Good. Put him to death. Well, somebody that is just a little bit better than that, the University of Illinois will be taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes at home. It was a transition try. Illinois is going to be on life support after this game. I don't know. It was a transition try. I don't know. My bad. The Ohio State Buckeyes heading in 14.5 favorites against Illinois. Yeah, I don't know. Jeremy, thumbs up, thumb down. Does Illinois stand a chance? He's doing his Caesar.
Oh, come on. Just okay. They have a chance.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Someone talk about this 2025 Ohio State team being possibly the best team ever in college football. Have you seen those reports?
Yeah, it's ridiculous because they have a true freshman quarterback in Julian Sion, who is not. He's been serviceable, but it's not like he's like you don't see Jeremiah Smith highlights every single week, right? He's not like airing it out down the field. He's just being efficient and they're running the ball. That they just have a ridiculous front and a ridiculous line. So, yeah, I mean,
after the beatdown really Indiana put on Illinois, I mean, maybe that was an unprepared game. We'll see what that looks like. Obviously, you're going to be much more prepared for Ohio State, so it's going to be a get up game. Obviously at home. One of the biggest games the University of Illinois probably is going to have on their schedule in quite some time. So, I mean, never know.
They beat Texas 14-7. All right, they have Illinois, right, and then Wisconsin, and then Penn State.
Their schedule's trash,
and then Purdue, UCLA, Rutgers, and Michigan. So,
awesome that the number 1 and 2 season pre-ranked are now both unranked going into week 6. Good stuff there.
This should be the first week of rankings. Am I correct or incorrect? Week 6.
Well, I think when does the BCS rankings come out?
Oh, I think they do that like in a week or 2, something like that.
So like week 6, week 7. That's the only ranking. The AP poll I could give 2 shits about. It's the BCS rankings. That's what it goes by for the.
But you can't tell me that the AP poll doesn't have any kind of like hold over what they look at in terms of the committee.
It's a metric though, is it not?
I think it's added to it. So I don't know.
What was that?
Thor's hammer.
The BCS rankings components include a poll average, combining human polls, a computer average, strength of schedule, and team losses. So yes, there is an opponent in there. It is the coaches poll and the AP poll that goes into the poll average. Then the computers make an average, strength of schedule, and then key losses. Or if you lose a quarterback, I don't see where that's in there. But if you lose a key player, apparently that is in there as well. In case you were wondering about that, the Alabama Crimson Tide headed to Missouri. This is a game I have circled here. Alabama's only favored by 2.5. Obviously, they're coming off. They put the bad loss behind them. They're back in the groove. I would be careful of this Missouri team. Missouri's pulled out some very sneaky wins, and it's a sneaky team. And obviously, Alabama's had their struggles. I like Missouri here, Jeffrey. So that means probably take Alabama all day long. That's what I was getting ready to say.
I mean, Drinkowitz is, I guess, shutting down some things. It just seems like there's a little bit of in being unhospitable toward Alabama while they're there this weekend for a few different things that I think will be like motivating factors for Alabama. It's like, don't poke the bear. What's the point? You know what I mean? You're Missouri. Like, chill. So yeah, I like Alabama here for sure.
Yeah. Red River rivalry coming up. Oklahoma, Texas. Oklahoma favored by 1.5 here. Is that because their quarterback not playing? I know that he had the thumb surgery, only 18 days. Very questionable that he will be starting. So I'm assuming that that's why the line is where it's at. I mean, we've seen nothing out of Texas that's going to show us that the number 6 Oklahoma should have any problem with them, even though it is at home. So I'm assuming that's just because the quarterback questions coming out of Oklahoma.
Yeah, Mateer's not playing. Love Texas here. Texas with a bounce back win. Huge.
Man, Arch Manning. Whew. Boy's taking some heat.
He's fine. He'll be fine.
Indiana, Oregon, one of the better games matchups of the week. Indiana heading out to the West Coast, number 3, Oregon, -7.5. To Jeff's point in the pre-show, this is a game that I definitely want to watch. I want to see if Indiana's for real or not. Even if they lose this game, if they keep it within a 1-possession game, in my opinion, that shows that they can compete and would be deserving of a college playoff spot. If they lose by, in my opinion, 15 or more, it's going to put a lot of doubt on Indiana in the remaining schedule, whether or not they get in. What are you looking for here out of this one, Jeffrey? Same thing? Looking to see what Indiana's really made of?
Yeah, I mean, Cignetti just talks so much shit all the time. I'm looking forward to, I think, Oregon just absolutely slapping the shit out of them. So,
well, that's nice. Georgia heading into Auburn. Georgia, 3.5-point favorites here, coming off their loss. Games are always just a rivalry game, right? Even though it's not like Auburn, Alabama, it's still the down south. I think Georgia gets this one done. So that probably means take Auburn in the points.
No, I agree. I think Georgia's a better football team than Auburn.
Nice.
I would take Georgia as well.
Nice. I think I might start just putting out fade the picks, like seeing how many I can get wrong, and just giving the.
There's a part of Circa that has that.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I'm aware.
You would have been on fire this year.
Yeah, well, I've been taking money lines though. I think I've won 2 bets so far. My 2 and 8.
Yeah.
This is the week I start locking it in though. Remember I told you like weeks 4, the first 4 to 5 weeks are all just preseason to me.
I don't have a lot of plays that I love this week, honestly. Like I love the Chiefs. That's about it.
We'll see. A lot can happen. Today's Friday. Got a couple days to get into it. We'll see what happens. What is not in the preseason or fade the fat man bets? Boy, you just woke up and chose violence today, huh? 3 times?
Yeah, I don't understand. Like I said, I'm having a problem with my camera, and you said that I was ugly as fuck.
Can't fix your face.
Put your headphones on real quick, actually. Get your ass in here. Because you said you can't fix your face, which I thought you gotta give him a minute. He's got to get dressed.
I know.
You know, when's game 5 tomorrow?
Tomorrow at 8:00.
You know, I've been rooting for you guys, and then I wake up
that.
and I roll out of bed, and I'm having trouble with my camera, as Tyson saw. Right, I'm going through it, and I gotta have you accosting me, telling me that I'm fucking ugly. I didn't appreciate it,
and now I'm fat,
and now he's fat.
Wow, all up in our feelings today, gentlemen. Jesus,
come on. I mean, are we up in our feelings, or are you just attacking us out of nowhere?
Yeah.
Blindly.
Listen,
just woke up and woke up, got the gel in your hair and chose violence, or what?
I wake up like this every day. I don't have to put gel in my hair.
It must be nice to have hair. Anything else you need to get off your chest here, buddy? I mean, any other? Any other tax that you want to get on?
The Yankees lose.
Take the Cardinals. Take the Cardinals for Survivor. You know, it's fine.
You're still on this. It's crazy. Like I truly can't believe that you're still on this.
Yeah,
I can't.
Like you're an adult. You can make whatever pick you want to, right? I can recommend what I would take and tell you that, you know, and it's up to you and your own, you know, volition on whether you're going to follow that pick or not, right? So for you to follow the pick and then now bitch about it every day for a week, it's just getting old. I'm not going to lie.
Fix your face, Jeff.
As Lady Gaga says, I was born this way. Okay, there's not a lot I can fucking do. All right.
All right.
All right.
Anything
to send us off with 3 times? We'll bring you back in here at the end.
To be in that moment with all of the Philadelphia people there last night and watch.
Well, let's get into it here. I got some videos here to show
unfold in real time.
We'll bring you right back in here, buddy. MLB playoffs are fully underway. Toronto does knock off the New York Yankees 3-1. And the Phillies, Jeffrey, the Phillies.
What about them?
Forgot how to play baseball. This is how the Phillies-Dodgers game ended.
Gotta find it.
What is this guy doing?
He throws it away, and the Dodgers have won. The Dodgers win.
Now, Jeffrey, you played baseball, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So obviously in any situation, game situation, while this is happening, if you're a defender, your first thought is, if the ball is hit to me, where am I going with it? Where are my force outs?
Mm-hmm.
Now they did have a force out at home.
Mm-hmm.
However, you have to know what's going on. And I actually feel sorry for this guy, because if you've ever played sports, you've had just a moment where you freeze. Your brain just stops working and everything falls apart. Unfortunately for this gentleman right here, it happened in game 4 of the NLDS.
Yeah.
It's a nice little dribbler back right here. The ball is here. The bat is not out of the box. This guy's almost halfway down the line. Now, I get it. You've got everything. The catcher is already standing up. He's already standing up. He's already pointing. He bobbles the ball. Now he's in full panic mode. He is in full panic mode right now. He's like, oh, shit, oh, shit, oh, shit. Where's the ball? He finds the ball. The catcher is still pointing. The guy is like 55 feet away from first base. He grabs the ball. He's looking at the runner. He can see he's almost there. Now, I will give him, he doesn't know where the first baseman is, but if he can see the runner, he can see the catcher. The catcher's not even standing on home plate to make the force play. He's telling you, for the love of God, throw it to first base. He doesn't even look. And not only does not even look, he's like, oh, shit. I think he still has him here, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, he had the force at home.
But look at that noodle arm, Jeff. This is the pitcher. This is the pitcher. Look at that noodle arm. Look at that stance.
It's
He
not an
is in
ideal throwing motion.
full-fledged, I am screwed. Oh, please, for the love of God, let me make this throw. And look how, this is a pitcher who throws 90 feet away and hits a small targeted box for balls and strikes. That ball, what is that? 15 feet off the plate?
Oh my goodness!
Look at this guy. Look at the third baseman coming in. Look.
Throws it away, and the Dodgers have won.
I'll tell you, when it's not your team,
Dodgers win.
it sure is funny.
Those
But
Philly
when
jerseys are one of the best uniforms in all of sports, for sure.
Oh my goodness,
Those
dude.
powder blues are beautiful. Jeremy, get back in here.
What a way to lose this game.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Oh.
And to be there in the moment, watching that happen with all the Philly fans around, and then you have like half the bar is Giants fans, and they're just riding on the Phillies fans, and the Eagles fans, because obviously they're winning. What a scene! What a moment!
What a day for Philadelphia fans. You get your shit pushed in by the New York Giants,
Yeah, man.
and then you lose in just a heartbreaking fashion.
Yeah.
And just, oh my goodness, man.
Said to
A
Frank
lot of
last night,
scared, lot of scared wives last night, waiting on their
And
husbands
dogs.
to get home. Yeah.
Dogs
I
were
said-
outside hiding in their houses, that's for sure.
I said to Frank, it was the scumbag sweep last night.
Yeah. Isn't Frank a partial Eagles fan?
He's
Mark's
married to
Eagles
married to an Eagles fan.
Partial Eagles fan, though. Yeah, what a terrible game. What a terrible way to end it. I mean, just think about your entire season just going down on that. We did mention that the Yankees, the Blue Jays took care of the Yankees. I got to admit, I was surprised by that series. I really was. When I look at the Dodgers-Phillies series and I look at some of the key players, Harper obviously had a very struggling postseason this year. Your best players got to show up. Same with the Yankees. Aaron Judge showed up.
Is Harper the Phillies' best player?
Yes.
Kyle Schwarber
Kyle Schwarber. Come on.
Harper. Okay.
and Trey
Okay.
Turner.
Okay.
Harper should be, like, in
He
theory.
should be, yes.
Okay,
You know,
But
this is what I'm saying. That is the expectations, is that he carries the team. He is the offensive prowess. I am not discrediting Kyle Schwarber. Obviously, I have very fond feelings of Mr. Schwarber. And
Yes,
if
we
the
do.
MLB would have pulled their head out of their ass and put the DH in a long time ago, he'd probably still be a Chicago Cub. But he's not because of the MLB, but that's a whole different story. But yes, when you look at it on paper, Bryce Harper is the superstar of the Philadelphia Phillies. And you need your superstars to show up in the postseason. That is what I'm.
Yeah. Anyhow,
we have is it game 5 tonight?
Game 5 tonight.
Yeah, we have game 5 going on tonight at
Seattle,
8:30
Detroit.
tonight between the Tigers and the Mariners. Tigers are favored on this one. I have not seen who they're
Screwball,
rolling out here. Are they putting out Screwball?
and Kirby.
Oh, nice.
How many days rest is that for Screwball? He just pitched like
Not many, but when you're in the playoffs, it's over, bro. I mean, you got to put them out there.
5-game series suck. I don't know why they do it.
I don't know,
Yeah.
Jeff. You made it yeah. You made it very clear on that. So yeah, Bryce
what
Harper.
about the other playoffs going on right now?
So obviously the Chicago Cubs have made a miraculous comeback here, and are forcing Game 5 Saturday night at, I do believe, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
This is-
Let
This is the bullshit about it too. It's not even like a miraculous comeback. Like, basically both teams have just won on their home field. That's why this 5-game
Well,
series is such bullshit.
being down 2-0, and doing both games, yeah, that's a comeback, Jeffrey.
knocking out Freddie Peralta. Come on, Freddie Peralta.
I understand that you guys.
Cubs have issues, though. The Cubs have issues. We've scored in the first inning, and then scoring has become very lackluster since then. It's going to be a very tough game here.
Everybody got involved yesterday. I thought it was great.
Matt Shaw got off the schneid and actually got a hit. Proud of that.
What? Who? Have we already?
We have not said who we're pitching yet.
Bullpen game.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Cade Horton is due to come back.
Not till the 13th.
So game 5. So that was just bullshit.
They-
I don't know who.
They initially said he should be able to come back for Game 5, and then they reset it. So yeah,
I have
he's
no
not-
idea who we're throwing out here. No idea whatsoever.
they have not released that yet.
Because they have nobody.
No starters named.
I mean, you've used all of your pitchers. I have no idea. I mean, whatever.
We can't
Nice to see
use
Kyle Tucker.
Shota.
I don't know if we want to use Shota anyway.
No.
He's gotten rocked. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. To Jeff's point, it's going to be a tough game. You know, going back up to Wrigley North, which the Brewers have got a lot of the seats. It's not necessarily as much of a home field advantage for the Cubbies during the playoffs. It's going to be a tough game. We'll see who gets slated. I thought Cade Horton coming back Game 5 would just solidify the legend of the rookie. Apparently not. So I have no idea who they're going to roll out here. I mean, you used Pomeranz last night. I guess Shota. I don't know who else you're going to throw out there.
I thought Boyd looked really good last night.
Yeah, that's what I said. You used Boyd. Boyd looked excellent. It was funny. Obviously, we were talking with Cousin Clay during the show, or I'm sorry, during the game. And when they took Boyd out, I immediately said, I don't like this. And of course, he responded, well, I'll let you know how it goes. And one pitch, one out. Of course, we both loved it right then and there. I don't know who you throw at this game, man. I don't know who the Brewers are going to be throwing out either. It's going to be
playoffs are going to be super low rated.
Well, let me tell you, if the Cubbies get knocked out,
You have Brewers, Dodgers, and then you have Blue Jays, and it doesn't even matter.
Tigers or Mariners, neither one of them
Nobody's
has a big
watching.
following.
Nobody's
I guess is Toronto on the west? No, that's not on the west coast of Canada, is it?
East Coast.
Tyson.
Yeah.
Tyson.
What? I don't know where those commie cities are. What are you talking about?
The Buffalo Bills literally released a thing saying good luck to our neighbor, the Toronto Blue Jays.
Because I follow the Buffalo Bills, Jeffrey. I don't get the hate
They
emails
didn't
like you
even
do.
wish the Yankees good luck. They wish the Blue Jays good luck because they're
They're
right
Canada.
next to
They're Canada South or Canada North. Sorry.
Whatever. And lastly, for us on the NFL Fit, welcome back, hockey. Good to see Blackhawks starting out 0-2. But you know what? I feel good about both losses. You played the back-to-back defending Cup champions on their Cup night, took them down to the wire, and then you just lost in a couple OTs. Yeah, whatever, man.
They have multiple OTs now, or they went to shootout.
They do two
They do
OTs and
one
then
OT,
shootout.
One OT and
one
then
OT, then
shootout.
shootout.
One OT, then shootout.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the way that they lost on this overtime was absolutely egregious, though. Absolutely egregious. There's just a terrible defensive break. Let Boston have the one-on-one. Yeah, not good. But other than that, any errors, corrections, stats, omissions, other than Thor's armor, apparently, that is broken?
Oh, there's noise to it. No.
Yeah.
No.
It lights up as well.
Just looking to have a nice day off, relaxing.
You're off again.
A Friday off. Whoa.
I'm off every Friday.
Oh, you should
And
trade
you're
it for
off, like,
Saturday.
what, Mondays and Tuesdays?
Monday, Tuesday, Friday. I'm off.
When do you? Oh God.
Wednesday,
Nice.
Thursday, Saturday, Sunday.
What do you talk about? You said that you work 2 days a week. What are you over there talking about?
I have a lot going on. I have a family. I have babies. I have children.
You
I
also
know.
have like a live-in daycare clinic there.
Shout out to Justice. I will be in Boston at the end of November. We just booked our tickets to go up there and see some family, and we're gonna gallivant around the city for about 4 or 5 days. So should be a good time.
Love Boston.
So
Boston's
how
a great
does
city.
Justice move into that
Justice
situation?
Lives in Boston.
Did he
and
help
I'm-
you book the flights or anything?
I'm in Boston November 20th to the 24th, and Justice's birthday is November 25th. So
so you're gonna be hanging out with Justice.
yeah.
Well, you just said like shout out to Justice, like he hooked you up with a free hotel room or free flights or something of that nature.
Just
I
got
don't-
his
I
own
don't-
hotel
I don't
hookup.
need a favor from anybody in my life.
Really?
People call me for favors.
All right, that's going to do it for us today on the Under 4 Fan. We appreciate you all. Be sure to follow the socials, tail or fade the bets as responsibly as you degenerately can. And if you do have to be driving out of the weekend, please stay out of the left-hand lane.
Be great.
Bear down.